Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Jake Rouse Show. Today is a fun one for me. Jay and Marci Honard have been friends of mine for decades. And when I was first thinking about doing a podcast and thought about who would be great guests to have on the show, Jay and Marci were one of the first half dozen that popped into my head. They're smart, they're fun people. They have deep experience in the restaurant catering business, just good business people. And they've been doing it a long time. And so, I've had Chris Sirianni in here talking about brewery and his journey there. But Jay and Marci's goes even further back. This year, they celebrated 30 years in downtown Erie and as a business. And you've all heard me say this before. Running a restaurant or bar is the hardest business there is. The failure rate is astronomical. So to do it for 30 years it isn't just no small feat. It's a remarkable accomplishment. And so Jay and Marci are going to be a lot of fun to talk to about that whole journey, the challenges that they face right now, and the challenges they faced over time relative to staffing and pricing and regulation, and really just talking to them about life, both here in Erie and in the world. They're two of my favorite people in the world, and I'm excited that we get this time together and grateful for them sharing an hour of their time in what's an insane schedule. So I really hope you enjoy. Let's go. Jay and Marci, welcome to the Jake Rouse Show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Just making sure we're live here and we're recording, and we are. Periodically, Jay, if you need to get it out, you can play with the microphone and say loud things.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a lot of fun, isn't it? Thank you guys for being here. And so I've got a lot to cover with you because, and I want to lead off with this. I'll lead off with something somewhat serious, and that is that you guys, I really believe, are in the rebirth, the rejuvenation, the renaissance, if you will, of downtown Erie. I put you right there with the Haggertys at the Plymouth, yourselves, frankly, the old owners of the Puffer Belly, those three entities. And I had Chris Sirianni on here, and I said to Chris, you're kind of, he was in that the next wave, but you guys have been in downtown Erie for 30 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so much is going on now, but 30 years ago it was a different scene altogether. So talk a little bit about that. Talk about, 30 years ago when you jumped into the Calamari business, what the hell were you both thinking?
Well, and actually, previous to that, we were at Marketplace
That's
Grill.
right. I forgot about Marketplace. That was another one.
And we have definitely seen quite a transition. The building that we're in used to be the Silver Slipper. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember the name, legendary.
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah. And then in the 90s, when we first bought the place, there seemed to be a few people that would still hang out looking for that place, and we quickly got rid of that.
What kind of action was going on at the Silver Slipper?
It wasn't good. It was definitely a little.
Well, it was good if you were
seedy.
looking for that.
Yeah, it was a little seedy in the back alley back in those days. So
let's step back before that. Okay, real quick. So, but the two of you met at you probably met before then, and Marci, you and I are the same class, different schools. And so, but you guys met at Marketplace, is that correct?
No, it was previous to that.
Okay.
We went on to work together at the Marketplace, but we'd met through a mutual friend of yours and mine, the legendary Philo.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right. And so you met between them. Now,
so that was probably 1989.
Yeah, I was at the, and then I was working at the Bel Air.
You're at the Bel Air.
You got me to jump ship and come down to the Marketplace, and we just moved on up.
Yeah, it was after I took you to that first Grateful Dead concert.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was the concert?
First one we went to, I believe, was in
On-
Hamilton, Ontario.
And were you a big Grateful Dead fan, Marci?
She was after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Not as big as him and a lot of the guys that we worked with.
Well, proof in the pudding, Jake. After the show, we were meandering our way around a parking ramp.
this is a family show.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she said, "Hey, where's the next show? Do you think we should go?"
That's fantastic.
I was doing a little twirling that night, and then we went to a bar and saw somebody with a Sports Page T-shirt on.
In Hamilton.
In Hamilton, Ontario. And he was leading a sing-along.
Yep, to Hey Jude. So.
And so...
Did you find out who this character was?
Oh, gosh.
I don't recall how that
36 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we hung out with the whole group all night long and had a blast.
Well, Jay, weren't you in... I know you worked at Marketplace, but then you got into food sales, didn't you? Did you get in alcohol sales?
Yeah,
as
my
well?
first stop was liquor and wine salesman. That was my first sales job. I worked for a company out of Philadelphia back when there was only 2 wholesalers in Pennsylvania. One being Superior Wines and Spirits. It was owned by the Waxman family. And then I'm trying to think of the name of the other, Marsalis or something like that. But it was pretty competitive back then. And I did that for a short period of time, and then I went to Curtsy, and I worked for a couple of years. And while at Curtsy, we purchased Calamari's.
Ah, okay.
And I was hoping to do both because, holding on to that job would stabilize our family. We had 2 small children, 3 and 5 at the time, I believe they were. And so that didn't work out so well because we kept getting busier and busier, and she needed more assistance, and me showing up at 5 o'clock after running my sales route wasn't really working out all that well for her.
Right, and probably coming in and saying stuff like, "This is what you did wrong earlier in the day."
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes over real well.
Never.
But so I jumped ship in October of that year, and finished out 96 at just Calamari's, and then we just kept rolling.
So you guys jumped into buying Calamari's with 2 youngsters.
Yes.
Did it scare the heck out of you at the time, or were you just excited? Because that's a massive undertaking.
Well, my thought was I was 28. I was 27 when we signed the papers, but I turned 28 when we took the place over. And I felt that if I failed financially at 28 years of age, I could recover from that failure by the time I was 40 and not ruin myself.
That's a pretty deep thought to have at 28. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you have them kids situated.
Yeah.
Well, and it was a big undertaking, but it's not anywhere near where it is now. It was, the one side was more of a nightclub. We were dealing with DJs and bands and things like that. And then we just had that real small kitchen and the main area. But it has blossomed in the last 30 years.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the challenges of having kids with the hours that you had to be on site. I mean, one of the things that I observed firsthand with both of you that just has been seared in my head is that people want to have a restaurant or a bar, and they think that's great. I'm going to own it, and everyone else is going to run it. But what has made Calamari's work is your hands-on involvement, and in a lot of days that starts with food prep at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And somebody being on site into the evening hours to make sure things are until you get to the point of having people that you trust that know how it should work, correct?
Absentee ownership typically fails in our world. And, I mean, the failure rate in our world is 99% in the first 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it reduces to 97% in 7 years. And then they say once you get beyond the 7-year mark, you have a good chance.
Right. Right.
There's no guarantees. But the thing that was unique about her and I is one of us could mind the children and one of us could mind the store. And so we did a lot of, switching roles, and we also had tremendous family support. I mean, I feel for these folks that relocate and they have no family, and then they have like 2 to 4 small children. I mean, that is hard. And we were lucky. I mean, I had, 4 brothers that lived locally. She had a sister. We had 3 sets of grandparents. I mean, there was a lot, and many, the aunts and uncles were huge to our success.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a village. I mean, that's definitely
well put.
A statement.
Well, I would also say, and your daughters are amazing people, incredibly successful, and the influence of all those parties that you just mentioned on their development and who they are as people, I think you know that was a positive influence on them.
Well, Jake, just think about the family dinners that you shared with us.
Yeah, right, exactly.
With both children.
Well,
like personally at the dinner table.
Yeah.
The dinner table is a great place to start. I think that it's something that's missing in today's society. Parenting.
Yeah. But well, there's 2 things there. I think let's start with the dinner table, and then we're going to work on the parenting side. But the dinner table has kind of disintegrated, and it just used to be part of our fabric of how we were raised, and you'd connect every day at dinner.
It was where you went through the checklist.
Yeah, that's where everybody checked in, and
what do you have to do?
Yeah.
What can I help you accomplish?
Yeah.
What do you need?
I also think that it's very helpful when you run your own business and you're raising a family. When they got, they were active in sports and cheerleading and gymnastics, all the extracurriculars. It was nice because we could make our own schedule. So like Jay said, one of us was always there, one was running around, but we never really missed anything because we were also very fortunate to surround ourselves with really good support staff at Calamari's too. We have great managers. We have people that have been working for us for over 20 years.
That's fantastic. That's a testament
More
to
than
you.
a dozen.
Yeah. That's
in our industry, that's unheard of.
Yeah, you couldn't survive if it wasn't that. I mean, really, that you need that institutional memory. You need that reliance because you have gotten significantly bigger. Let's just talk about that evolution because I do think that people. I've seen things over time, and one of the things that all successful businesses do is adapt. And early on, I know both of you, because of your love of live music, wanted to have live music on, at least Fridays and Saturdays, or at least one day a week.
There was a point we had 4 nights a week going.
Yeah. But you pulled the plug on that.
Yes.
And why do you pull the plug on something that you love doing? I mean, what's the practical reason?
Well, when you go to the bank every day and you don't have money in there, and you're like, well, this isn't working.
Were you doing it for free, or were you charging a cover?
Back in those days, you charged.
Yeah.
Yes, but a lot of people didn't want to pay a cover, so they would sneak through the bathrooms to get into the Squid Row side just to avoid paying the cover.
Yeah.
And, we'd bring in a lot of big names, and they cost money, and to put them up and to pay the bands, and then if people didn't show up,
you ate it.
You didn't even have the sales. You didn't even have the beverage sales or the food sales to support it.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of times, people didn't know those names if they're from New York City or whatever, and they were phenomenal bands. I mean,
Who'd you have? Just
who was the guy?
Yolk.
Yeah.
Schleho. And then you
Our
had
Lady Peace.
Our Lady Peace. Modern English. Merle Saunders twice.
The gumbo guy.
Bill Wharton
and the
would make gumbo and feed the audience.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
remember
dude.
him?
Yeah.
I was his tour guide every time he came to town. It was tremendous. Rocket 101 would host us in the afternoon. Randy Bauman, the Buckethead, would have us out for an interview.
Uncle Bucket.
Yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Because we liked what we were doing, but unfortunately, that was not going to pay the bills.
Yeah. The other thing, and maybe I have this wrong, but it seemed as though one of the other adjustments that you guys made is that you you weren't going after a college crowd, or you made an intentional decision. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but maybe it was in the pricing of your drinks. But there was something where it was kind of like, maybe it was a conversation that you weren't anti-college student, but adults had a tendency to buy food, buy more drinks, or, pay for better drinks. I don't know. Am I wrong or right about that?
We welcomed them with open arms, don't get me wrong. We just didn't market ourselves to it.
Okay.
Everybody was doing specials back then, so you got the college kids. I mean, I remember being the bartender on Wednesday night, $1 Long Islands.
Yeah.
Causey was my bar back, and I mean, we would
$1
just
Captain Morgan's.
get annihilated. But they, then they bring in, some fights, and they trash the place. And
so did you do away with the specials, I guess is the question.
we had specials all the way up until COVID.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
We just didn't.
I was totally off on that then.
We didn't.
My apologies.
We didn't throw them out there like we needed them to survive.
Right.
Yes. Right.
We would prefer that someone was going to come in and have a sandwich and take advantage of a discounted alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the evolution too. Is we used to do the DJ on Friday nights and the band on Saturday, or vice versa, and then when we decided that that was not going to be a good way to make money, we turned that room into a banquet room. We expanded the kitchen, and then we got more into what our roots were, which
we
was
started to
food
look at rehearsal dinners and
banquets and
bridal
parties.
showers and baby showers and things of that nature, where people have the thought in their head of, we're showing up and we know we have to pay for this.
Yes. Right. Got it. When did the deck become fully activated? Like right away?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a huge advantage in downtown Erie. It's a huge advantage anywhere to have good outdoor seating.
96, you didn't have much outdoor seating anywhere.
Especially downtown.
Yeah.
I think it was just us and the Plymouth, right?
And the Plymouth, I thought,
Plymouth
came in later.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they were probably 5 years after us.
One of the things that I always talk to Jay about, or I always mention, I said that, we talked about this at your 30th anniversary celebration, is just that I was involved with one or two of the early on catering activities that you ever did.
Oh, one of the first.
One was at the Erie conference.
The Erie Conference on Economic Development.
Yeah. Close enough. Yeah. It was at the Renaissance Center, I think.
Yes,
it was. I hired you guys to come in and do something. But the other one was I asked you if you could cater and work a family reunion at my parents'
that's
house.
right.
The family
I
reunion.
thought you were going to bring up the lobster bake.
Oh, well, that, yeah.
One of our favorites.
Yes. We went to we had a family reunion, and we had a bunch of perch, and we said, hey, can you cook this? Can you bring a bunch of sides? Can you set everything up? And turned out fantastic. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
And
remember that.
where you guys went from there, because we had it today, excuse me, where D'Angelo, who runs this operation down here at CAM, I introduced him to Marci, and she's with Calamari's, and he's like, oh, Catley's West. And he goes, are those related? And she's like, yeah, they're together. And he goes, oh, I used to see you at weddings all the time. Your catering business and the formality of Catley's West started, out of Calamari's. And what I think a lot of people don't realize is how much, a lot of that equipment and stuff that you had was stored in the basement of Calamari's. And so when you would be going to do an event, there was no shortcut to loading up.
It was difficult.
It was labor.
Yeah.
Hard labor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up and down a lot of stairs.
We did it under the umbrella of Calamari's until 2013. And then we decided we were out of room. And so,
well, I can tell you exactly. I remember the wedding. It was a huge wedding that we did down at the Niagara, and we came back at about midnight, and the place is, full tilt boogieing, and we're we're unloading vans, and we're trying to wash dishes, and the place is still packed. We're behind the bar doing glassware. We were there till 4 a.m. with my amazing staff. And the next day I said, okay, we're either in the catering business or we're out of the catering business, but I can't do this to these poor people anymore. It was rough.
That was hard.
Yeah. So that summer we started looking.
We looked for a building, and then we found a building. And then we had this gal that worked for us. She was phenomenal, Holly Brine. And I think you and her threw it out there. They said, well, what do you think about rebranding this and calling it something different? And I says, well, I think there's merit to what we've, already done. But let's try and come up with something. And so we came up with Callie's West Catering.
Yeah.
Well,
we wanted to people to associate it, but not confuse it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another Calamari's. Where's this? Is it another location? But we wanted it to be hopefully something that people would associate with each other, and that's where we came up with Callie's West. And
it took a while for
redid the
people to
logo.
associate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, very smart young man out here who worked your events and didn't put the two together, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I like the separation, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think it's kind of neat that someone sees Callie's West as a totally separate entity.
Oh, it was like something new was born in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
That's the impact it had.
Well, it's also a hell of a testament to that vision to let's rebrand it. And they are two totally different. They're very different experiences. I mean, in the sense that one is a bar and a restaurant, and the other is a professional catering operation. But they are interconnected, right?
They're married.
They're married. Yes.
Well, and we wanted people to think of us for more than just beer and pizza and chicken wings. We do everything. We never say no, unfortunately. To our fault. Sometimes.
No, I think that you guys have been having worked with you professionally, but professionally on a number of events. I think the key is the communication between you and the customer up front and the candidness of it to find out what they really want to do and having a real conversation about budget, right? Because that's the thing that people have a tendency to want it all, and then when you give them the price tag, they think like, "Oh, that's outrageous." Well, we can scale it back without giving up too much. Yeah. So, the catering business, and I do want to get into that. Where are you at? Like, give me a general idea of. See, because there was a few things that Marci mentioned to me about. You provide, like I knew this one through my brother. You used to, and I don't know if you do, but you used to do food to the seminary.
Oh, yeah, we take care of seminarians still.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many days a week?
Sometimes 5.
They're Gannon students, so it's seasonal. But yeah, between 3 and 5 a week from September to May.
Right. So this is one of those things that the average bear out there like me would not understand. Like, you think of catering, you only think of like a wedding, a graduation party, right? But here's a situation where the diocese has seminarians living at St. Mark's Seminary and does not want to have, they don't want to activate their kitchen to take care of them, but they do need to feed the students up there. And so you guys have a contract with them to provide food 5 days a week?
Between 3 and 5, yeah.
3 and 5 days a week.
Yep.
Whenever they need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes brunch on Sundays after Mass.
We're not going to say no.
Yeah.
We're glad to do it. It's your brother.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's also business.
It is.
Right.
And I think that's, and they're not asking you to do it for free.
No.
They're a paying customer.
Yeah, we also fed the Edmund L. Thomas kids in the foster shelter in Erie County for, we do that, a decade?
Ooh, we did that for, about 10 years exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was 2 meals a day. It was a budget-oriented thing, but we made it work out.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's a logistics of it.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to have a menu and know what you served last week and make sure you don't repeat that again, right? Or have some rhythm to it. Then you have to get it to them.
Well, and with children, we got into the dietary of it all to make sure that it was nutritionally sound. And that was something we had to, research and conquer.
Yeah. You do the riders for a lot of the Warner events, you said?
Yes.
Explain to everybody what that is. And you also do them now, I guess, for Chautauqua?
Correct. And the quite a few at the amphitheater, too. 8 Great Tuesdays, a lot of those bands. We will get it's called, obviously, a rider, and they tell us what their dietary restrictions are, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We feed not only the band and the artist, but everybody, the drivers,
roadies.
the
Union
roadies,
stagehands,
Yep.
everything.
Exactly. And then we also do the dressing rooms, which can actually be pretty funny. We've had the specific kind of M&Ms that they want, and specific kinds of coffee and drinks, and
Organic this, organic that.
yeah, a lot of snacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
very particular.
One of the games in restaurants and catering that you have to be masterful at, to me, to survive is pricing. And pricing, to me, goes back to buying and materials you're buying. And that's something that I've always been fascinated by, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a great deal on chicken, you're going to have a menu that's littered with, you probably have 50 different types of way of preparing and serving chicken, because that's the most affordable thing. But if you get a good
Yes.
deal on steak or pork or whatever, talk to me about that process. I mean, who does the pricing? Is it one of you two that's...
Jay does all the ordering, and that's probably
I do all the
part of
buying.
the biggest job that he has, is because he shops 3 companies. You have to.
Three companies?
Yeah.
Three vendors.
So
Like
3
Curtsy,
vendors.
Cisco, or somebody like
So
that?
Curtsy, U.S. Foods, Mapleville Farms.
Okay.
Now, my heart lies with Curtsy because I worked for them. And that's one of the best run family-owned companies in the world.
Yeah.
And they're a class act. And
Great people, great company.
I just feel
Very
like
supportive to
they
us.
do it better.
They're also, by the way, that's not a Homer conversation. Their growth proves that
It's
they're
ridiculous.
fantastic.
It's unreal. And it's because of their quality. It's real simple. You put the best thing you can on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And typically you come up with a pretty good standard.
So how often are you buying?
3 times a week.
Okay.
for both places.
Whoa. I mean, just the math of so you have to forecast on the Cali's west side. You have to forecast out what's our demand going to be based upon events and everything, right?
Well, the nice thing about catering and the nice thing about having good vendors is literally I can order it the day previous and have it, in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we're constantly taking orders we take next day orders. So I have a PAR system I use for, standard items that
PAR standing for?
how many cases of each item.
Okay.
Quantity. And it usually gets us through to the next truck. And then I stagger some trucks, and I've always kind of have a backup plan.
Right.
And it's best to have that. The 6 Ps. Prior planning
Oh,
prevents poor performance.
yeah. I like it.
And Jay was a math major. I don't know if you knew that fun fact. For about, 6 months?
Yeah. How long were you
No, I've 28 credits shy of my degree.
in? You're a
Oh,
math
really?
major. I like it.
Yeah.
I went to school from 86 to 90.
Where were you?
I was at Edinburgh last.
Okay. Where'd you start?
Slippery Rock.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a real science there, and I do think that it's both not wanting to you can't waste anything, so you can't hold on to it for a long period of time, right? So the things that people don't think about is power outages become a major issue when you're a food-oriented business. And you better have a backup plan. You better have a generator or something, or else you could be saying night-night to a lot of money.
Yes. Back in years ago, we had a couple issues like that, but now we have alarm systems on all our coolers, and we have a refrigerated trailer. I don't think we have. I mean, let's knock on some wood. I don't think we've had that issue in a while.
No,
So,
typically not.
But yeah, it's constant.
First
rotation.
Energy does a good job.
Yeah,
They really do.
Yeah.
They
It
do a
is.
fabulous job.
it is
Well-
a constant rotation though of food. You have to be on your game.
It just seems to me. And then how about the liquor? And are you seeing a kind of the shift that we're talking about nationwide with less alcohol consumption?
100%.
Really?
Absolutely.
More mocktails. More younger people are not drinking as much. I think that our sales have declined, but again, our food sales have increased so much that, they play off each other. So it hasn't been too much of an issue for us.
Well, I mean,
it's still Erie. People still like to go out and have a good time.
Right, and if people are default, using more weed than alcohol, they get the munchies and they want to go out and eat.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's great that they are going out. And do you see any downturn in people going out to eat?
Currently, the way the economy is, there definitely has been some suspect pockets of decline in business.
Mm-hmm.
But we feel that we've repelled that pretty well, and kept our costs in order as far as labor and whatnot, because that's the whole labor's your biggest challenge.
Let's talk about that, because it's finding labor. And one of the stats that I think will open some eyes here is, in 30 years at Calamari's, do you think you've hired over 2,000 people?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We use a local company. I think we're on 3375 was my last employee number.
Is how many people?
And I'm 1 and 2.
Yeah, right. You have 1 and 2 are in front of me.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I'm sure some of those were very, very short duration, because it's just not the right attitude, or,
Yes.
didn't show up.
Yes.
Oh,
exactly.
there's a lot of that.
And
since the
that's
pandemic.
definitely gotten worse in the last 5 to 7 years since
The pandemic
since
changed the
COVID.
ball game a little bit.
For everybody.
It
Everybody.
did.
I mean,
Especially the service industry.
Immensely.
Mm-hmm.
The one that kind of blows my mind is, pre-pandemic, virtually every bar and restaurant in downtown Erie would be open, almost obligation, like didn't think of it till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And is anyone open till 2 in the morning? I mean,
We are.
We are.
You are.
We
All
stayed.
We did shorten our hours on the kitchen. And we
What time do you shut the kitchen down? 11?
10.
10?
Yes.
And then
11
midnight
on
on
the
or
weekend.
11's on the weekend.
11 on Friday and Saturday night. But we were open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to midnight in the kitchen, and 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. on the bar.
Probably 24 years, right?
Until 19, yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or
then
2020.
the pandemic, are you guys dark on Sundays now, or
Monday.
Mondays?
Monday.
Okay.
Well, Monday we open it's just evening.
Yeah.
So we do karaoke. Sean Brown, our bar manager for
Since 2012 or 2011.
2011. Yeah, so he's been with us for
We've been
15
blessed to have him.
15 years. He does all the ordering of the beer and wine and liquor. And then he also works 4 nights a week behind the bar, and he loves his Sunday, Monday nights.
Yeah.
Because he gets everybody from the other places that close.
Yeah.
And, of course, service industry people are pretty good tippers.
Yeah. So that's where they go to hang.
Yes.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
And then he does karaoke on Monday nights. And then we have a very limited kitchen menu from like 7 to midnight, right? 7 to, yeah.
How many events do you do through Cali's in a year, do you think? Or
Ooh. Events, thousands.
Yeah.
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 Anything from, like I said, we don't know how to say no. Oh, you drive to Titusville at 3 a.m. and feed the third shift? Sure.
Yeah, we still do 3 shifts
Yeah.
at some manufacturing places.
Breakfast,
Like
lunch,
quarterly.
dinner, weddings, pharmaceutical reps.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to feed your whole company.
Right.
I really appreciate you calling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you say no,
Yeah.
that's it.
And
you have to.
They
kinda
say to you, the other end of the phone's quiet for a minute, and then they say, "You'll really come here at 2 a.m.?" I'm like, "Yeah." Here we go.
Yeah, figure it out, get it done.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so do you guys still love doing it?
Yeah.
We do.
I don't. There's good addictions and bad addictions, but I say you couldn't be in it as long as you both have been in it if you aren't addicted to you love the pace and
Yeah.
the interaction with the people. And I want to give some credit. Jay being on the kind of the buying side and the pricing side, but Marci, obviously you do so much more than this. But from a training side and the staffing side, I've watched it, but I've also heard it. Just what an amazing job you do orienting these employees, and then over time you've trained others to orient your employees to know how to work in the industry. Whether they stay with you or not, they learn the foundation and the fundamentals right out of the gate.
Yes, I do. We both had background years and years ago in corporate. So you worked at TGI Fridays, and I worked at a place called The Cooker, and we were able to take the corporate training that we received and that we saw and kind of, put it toward more of a local, family-owned type business. And so we kind of have the best of both worlds there. But it's very important to me that they not only enjoy what they do, but that they understand what they do. They shouldn't just be order takers.
Yeah, you have to engage.
Yeah.
And that's a problem in this
But not
day.
over-engage.
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I mean, getting the youth of today to engage and stay off their phone while they're on a shift is a challenge.
A struggle, yes.
It is. One of the things that, and again, I'm just giving you anecdotal, but I have eaten at your place, several hundred times, if more, not more. Your staff is the best I've ever seen it not deadheading as they're moving through, right? Whether on their table or not.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good at looking at the table and eyeing up that so-and-so needs a drink, or it looks like they're looking for ketchup or whatever it might be, and taking, like that teamwork.
Team approach.
Team
Yes.
approach to it.
Yeah.
And I've never really noticed it as much at any other place as I noticed it at your place. And they're busy and they're humping, but they don't give off that aura of like, I'm really harried right now, I can't help you. Instead, it's like, hey, do you need another Coke? Yeah, that'd be great. Super. And then you realize later, that wasn't my server.
It's a team approach.
Yeah.
The more touches a table gets, regardless if it's their mainstay server for the evening, the better.
Yeah.
We can train them to be, good servers, bartenders, managers, cooks, but you can't train somebody what you're talking about. We have to hire good, kind, team-oriented people.
Yeah. And
that's what we look for.
Yeah. And by the way, it has those in the past, it's like, regardless of how many piercings or ink they have, it all melts away with the person being able to engage with you. And I'm not saying those are negatives. What I'm saying is that
it's truth.
It all of a sudden, it's just all you can remember is that smiling face and their engaged voice with you changes the whole dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
So, let me ask you from the standpoint of, do you enjoy going out to eat, or do you enjoy just sitting at home and cooking yourself? Or, you know what I mean? Like when you're a restaurateur, I always wonder what
both.
Yes.
Yeah, because we still have some meals together.
Mm-hmm. He cooks. I don't cook.
Yeah, and
I don't cook there either. They don't let me in the kitchen.
no,
you don't cook because you don't want to cook.
I'm not a good cook.
Oh, yeah.
I do everything else.
Yeah. She can taste it and tell us what she wants different about it.
Right. So she has a good palate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
so,
presentation and things like, organization. Those are my strong points, not cooking.
Yeah, I work at recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I've written them all. Well, most. I won't say all. I've been blessed with some pretty good chefs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Getting to your question, though, I enjoy more eating when I travel.
Yes.
Because then I feel like, our daughters, obviously, one lives in Chicago, one lives in D.C. They're great places to visit. They're great places to go out to eat. And we get a lot of great ideas when we're able to travel and go to other restaurants. In Erie, I think it's a little bit more challenging for us because we're working. We work a lot, so we don't get a chance to socialize in the evening a lot. But There's some nice restaurants in Erie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we're very blessed.
Oh, I have some favorites for sure. Yeah. But, I mean, it depends as far as, if I've eaten out 4 straight nights, which it can happen, we're empty nesters.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I want to cook.
Yeah.
I want to, put something together.
Sure. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I've always enjoyed, Jay, if you and I have been going out to eat, there is a community and a camaraderie between all the restaurateurs.
Mm-hmm.
You all know each other, and it's friendly. It's
Oh,
welcoming. They
Absolutely.
appreciate you coming into their place to have a meal, and I think that's great.
We actually cater and host a lot of restaurant Christmas parties at our place, which I feel like that's a great
Huge feather in the cap.
compliment.
It is. That's a super compliment.
Yeah.
Plymouth has their Christmas party at our place, and quite a few others.
Oh, that's
Lavery's.
yeah. That's quite an honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell me what you think about what's happening in downtown area. Are you excited? I mean, you guys have, over these last 10 plus years, and I know you've been involved in the downtown partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think. I mean, is it moving in the right direction? Is it about, you can't really tell because the developments happen further away?
So the development's definitely, it's kind of out of our direct zone. But due to the fact that it's bringing people into downtown Erie, I feel like you have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to touch somebody eventually. And it varies. But we're off the beaten path of the development.
Yeah.
But I love what they're doing. I think it's wonderful. It's positive. There's some great places down there that, I was so happy to see Dave's Diner come back.
Sure. Absolutely.
Well, and it's activity too, not like the climbing the wall place and the 5-iron and what's the other one? Hazards.
And thank God 5-iron's just right down the street.
Yeah. I mean, those are fun things to do, not just eat or drink. It's going to bring people downtown to do activities, which is fun. And it's great for tourists because I've seen some things recently on, social media or even in the news where Erie's a destination place again with the waterfront and, things to do. People come from Pittsburgh or, Buffalo, Cleveland and come here. And us being there 30 years is nice because when these, families come in or people come in numerous times, they remember, oh, we were here 5 years ago. You're still here.
Yeah.
You still have the gumbo. You still have the filet croissant. They're excited for our beer selection, and they remember us because they have been coming for years.
When you have the hockey tournaments,
yes,
and you
a lot of families with
the soccer
sporting
tournaments.
events.
I mean, we're drawing people down from the facility up on Peach Street sometimes.
Absolutely.
We had a 40-person walk-in last Saturday afternoon at 3:00 in the afternoon, and the woman came in to see if we could help them, and this is the greatest part is we weren't there. We were catering.
And your team handled it.
Yep.
And this woman, our general manager, who is just wonderful, she says, oh, yeah, we can take care of you. And the woman says, like, together? And it was 40 people. She says, well, it might be staggered on the food delivery, but we feel like we could get you fed within a half hour, 40 minutes.
Her mind must
And the
have
woman's
been
like,
blown.
oh, my heavens, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing the amount of people that walk in still, 10, 15, 20 people, and they don't even know we take reservations. I'm like, oh, yeah, just give us a heads up. That's
Even
always
a half
helpful.
hour would be
Half hour.
Yeah.
Let us
You
move
put-
the tables.
Put some tables
That's right.
together.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I mean, there's definitely a lot of name recognition and a lot of referrals that people would give. I could see somebody on Upper Peach Street saying, oh, but you probably could go down to Calamari's and, they could handle a party of 40.
And meanwhile, it's a circus on Peach Street.
Yeah.
You can't get in anywhere. They're telling you it's an hour to get in.
Yeah. Okay. We need to start moving towards the finish line here. I think that I think that downtown Erie, one thing that has gotten obscured from people who live here is what happens in downtown Erie from the standpoint of activities and events going on and how it drives traffic down there. I mean, downtown Erie, counting the Bayfront along with that, it's the entertainment center of our region. And a lot of places, that are like Erie around the country, you really have to, you don't get activity in the downtown urban core. You don't get it in a lot of bigger cities even, right? But you can come down here on a Friday, Saturday, a lot of times Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and you could have something going on at the Playhouse, something going on at the ballpark, something going on at the arena, something going on at Warner, and downtown is jamming.
That's a
jamming.
grand slam weekend.
Yeah.
When we have an Otters game, a Philharmonic, and a Playhouse bumping.
Yep.
And Keller's across the street from us.
Oh, yeah, Keller's.
Yeah, they're good partners.
Keller's brings people in. Then in your little area, you got Keller's, you got Brewery, and you got yourselves. And but I just think that we have a tendency to kind of not think about it because it's like, well, it's been like that for some time. When you add in then an event going on at the convention center or up at the soccer fields, if any of those other things are going on, it's teeming with activity. Oh yeah, which is great for everybody, and I think has allowed you to stay alive and thrive the way you have. I will tell you that there was one moment where I was like, Jay and Marci are in a business that their world is so remarkably different than mine, and it was on a St. Patrick's Day. And I stopped in and, no, I take it back. It was not St. Patrick's Day. It was a block party. And the block party was going on. You guys were hosting, and I was with Jay, and we meandered up to your office. And all of a sudden, there was like Sherpas, staff members, coming up and handing you like bags with cash inside of them. From just kind of clearing out like, okay, we don't want to have that much money,
right?
In the registers or out on the streets. And you guys were handling cash and making decisions about who should get a bonus, like right there and then. And I was just watching this money, and I'm like, God, this is such a different world than I'm, that's for you guys. It was nothing. It was like, okay, we have a system in place to handle a bunch of cash coming in, how we're going to handle it, how we're going to tip our own staff for the work that they're doing that day. And meanwhile, it was far from over. I mean, you still had to make sure that everything was supplied. And that was just one day. I mean, it was a block party day, and I can't imagine what a St. Patrick's Day is like. It's got to be triple
They're
the fun.
both wonderful.
Let's go to your cards. Your cards are related to these questions here. So depending on the card that you have a question affiliated with it. So we're going to go ladies first. Marci, what was the first card that you flipped up?
5 of spades.
5 of spades. Right there. What is your favorite unhealthy food to eat?
Oh, definitely pizza.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Jaybird?
Card or answer the same question?
Well, why don't you answer that? I'm interested.
I would say...
Is pizza really unhealthy for you? I didn't know that.
Can be.
In excess.
Yeah.
So I have a definite fetish for combination subs, chicken wings, and pizza.
All right.
I loop those all together.
That's a strong triple crown. All right, you give us one of your cards now.
All right.
Oh.
5 of clubs.
5 of clubs. Hold on, folks. I forgot my sheet, so I'm not as quick on the draw. You know what? I gave you the wrong one. Anyway, that 5 of clubs was the food one. 5 of spades actually is, what's the dumbest way you've ever injured yourself?
Oh.
Do you have one?
Oh, no question.
Yeah. Family show.
Yeah,
family.
I
Family show.
I was hosting an impromptu gathering at my house, and I had a lot of kind souls that took their shoes off, and it really took up a lot of space in my kitchen. There was a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
And I went, gallivanting through there and broke my ankle.
Oh.
I might have been overserved.
Yeah, that's possible.
but yeah, I mean, and it was a real break. It was they threw a plate and 2 screws in there.
Did you go to the hospital that night, or was it to wake up the next day?
Okay, so it happened at about 9:00 at night, and it was after.
And you're like, ow.
My dear friend's mother's 70th birthday.
Okay.
And so after the birthday party, we came back to my house, and it was about 9:00 at night.
Play some Parcheesi and go to bed.
Yeah, I did it. Weens helped me to the couch, and I says, I'm just gonna put it up, and I'm gonna sit here and see what happens. And I
called me at 5 a.m. to take you to the hospital.
Oh, 5 a.m. you came to and looked at it and was like, this is no bueno.
Yeah.
Or did you try to get up?
I did. I managed to get up to my bedroom.
Oh, wow.
And then I woke up at 5 a.m. and I called her and I said, I think you better come get me and take me to the hospital. I said, this is not good.
Whew.
But it was those darn shoes.
Yeah, he tripped on the shoes.
Those darn shoes. Okay, Marci, your next one.
Oh, you know what?
You don't have to answer that one.
Okay. I don't know that I did. Oh, Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts. What habit change would have a positive impact on your life? Is there a habit that you feel like you need to change?
I definitely should get back to exercising more. I have gotten away from that with some health issues this past year. Had some back issues. I had a knee issue, and I'm not. When you're away from that, it's so hard to get back into it.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I need it. Need to do it. Just got to do it.
It is. I've just started again, and it is because it's painful when you first go back. It's not like it's this is easy. You start right back up where you were. No, it's usually hard.
And that's the downfall of being in this business too. Is it's hard on your body. I mean, it's
Yes.
30 years on your feet and running around and up and down the stairs, and it's hard.
Lots of lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Well. All right, Jaybird, your next one. Ace of Diamonds. I like how he's throwing them on the table like it's he's. All right. What's one of the most spontaneous things you've ever done?
Bought a restaurant.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
Perfect answer.
That's the easy one.
That's
Yep.
perfect answer.
Same.
All right, Marci, last one.
King of Spades.
King of Spades. I'll get it right this time. And we got some injury theme here. Have you broken any bones in your life?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
I know. Crazy.
We know this one has.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jaybird.
8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds. All right. What was your first job and how much did you get paid? I want to hear from you on this one too, Marci. Okay. First job. How much did you get paid?
Okay.
Of your life, not your professional career, your life.
My first job was mowing lawns, and I got paid based on how large the lawn was.
Ooh. And so did you measure it, or did you just kind of say, this is a $5 yard?
I kind of had a medium.
This goes back to his math.
Yeah, I had a bigger one. I mean, at one point I had 6 a week.
6 yards.
I was 12.
Nice.
Yeah, so I could make $100 a week when I was 12.
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. By the time I went to college, I had enough saved for my first year's tuition.
Damn.
I am not that good with money.
Yeah. That's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has scarred me for life. I grew up in Fairview and across the street from a fruit farm. And I worked all summer long picking raspberries and blackberries. And at the end of the summer, and we were paid by the pint, at the end of the summer, they gave me $11.
No.
Swear to God.
No.
I was so up. Wow. I was so bitter. And I think I was, maybe like 10.
Oh my God. That is painful.
What are you talking, like this in the 70s?
I've had some bad. My first job was at a summer camp in New Hampshire, and I'm pretty sure my wages were $5 a day 5 or 10 a day.
Yeah.
Right? 11 for the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
And I mean, it wasn't like an everyday kind of thing, but I was there a couple days a week, in the hot sun for hours.
So early on, I had one other job I have to mention.
Oh.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so when I was 15, the Lipchick family owned the Mid-City driving range and batting cages.
Yeah.
On East 12th, yeah.
Across from Carpetown, Payne Avenue, I believe
Yep.
it was. I went up there. And so they taught me how to drive the pickup truck to get the balls.
Oh, man.
And that, by golly, they had an 8-track player in that rig. And so my brothers had all these cool 8-tracks that I would heist from them.
And so you would just rock out.
Well, it became a problem. They had to come out, and get my attention because the music was so loud. They were complaining on the driving range that
They couldn't concentrate.
I was wailing Santana out there.
Yeah.
And, just doing a jig in the truck.
Oh, that is great. That is fantastic. Yeah, we've come a long way. Now music is on the golf courses.
Yeah.
On speakers. That's wild. How was it driving that thing? Did you ever get clinked? Did people
all
hit
the
you?
time.
Oh,
And it, had a cage over
Yeah.
the windshield.
Right,
They were probably aiming for you.
I tell you what, the stereo worked.
right. Felt like Snake Plissken driving that thing
Yes.
around through the streets of New York City. Well, this has been awesome. So many people know both of you, and they know Calamari's, they know Cali's West, and they make phone calls and say, hey, just make it happen. And, and you guys make it happen for them. And it's weird, and this is not meant to be a downer, but I was driving by, there was this quote that jumped out at me, and it says, life promises us sorrow, it's up to us to make the joy. And I just think about the work that you do, specifically on your catering events and that.
Yeah, we're truly in the business of joy.
Yeah, you bring a lot of joy.
We try and peddle good vibes.
You bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. People are coming into your place to have fun, to relax, to connect with friends, to talk about stuff.
It's funny that you say that, too, because on the catering side, and I say this to my staff all the time, we're there we truly are making memories. We are there for people on the best days of their lives and sometimes the worst. I mean, we do a lot of wakes and memorial services and stuff, and you have to have that. You have to be aware of that. This is not just a job. This is, you're making a bride's day.
Yeah, you're part of somebody's. I would go to say an intimate part of meaningful events in people's lives, even though they don't realize that you're there, and you can really add to it by just the manner in which you deliver it. And you guys do that because when people are planning those things, one thing they don't want to worry about is be stressed out about, is the food good? Is it here? Is the staff going to work right? Is everything? And when you take care of that for people, and you've done it so seamlessly for so many years, it's just you're friends to so many people because of it. And I know your return business is off the charts because you do such a great job.
Thank you.
A dear friend of ours, all three of ours, years ago, Jim Webb.
Yeah.
I was we were going through the trials and tribulations of your first 5 years in business, and he was getting an earful from me on the golf course one day. And he said, all right, Jaybird, I listened. Now I just have to stop you. He's like, just coach your team. He's like, we have to coach and teach and get through to them as to what the expectation is, and then execute. And him being the first coach at Mercyhurst University that took a women's team to the Elite Eight, correct?
Yeah.
It stays with me still. I mentioned it to him last week when we were playing golf. Mm-hmm. I said, "You realize that really that was one of the greatest things you've ever said to me."
Yeah.
And you can sometimes dwell on some things that get you down a little bit, and you just have to realize that it's up to you to coach your squad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like her as a partner, she's a great coach to that part of the squad, and I try to be the good coach, to my part of the squad. and then we meet in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a testament to both of you, what an incredible partnership you've had and how well you have grown and run this extremely, and I hope everyone who listened today, complex business. It's not as simple as just cooking up some vittles and putting them out there for $1 a plate, you know? There's a lot more to it, and I just want you to know I appreciate it. You've given me a lot of joy. You've shared some very meaningful moments in my life, and so thank you for that, and congratulations on 30 years of doing what you've been doing. I'm glad it still brings you joy, and I wish you nothing but continued success.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. Have a great day.